Alrighty, happy Thursday. Midterm review. Yeah, so next Thursday, 2 p.m., it'll open. It'll be due the following after break Tuesday. So 3:10, 2 p.m. Start it, close it, open it, come back to it whenever. There's no time limit on it because you do have to do things within a reasonable amount of time in the industry, but rarely are they, you have 90 minutes to accomplish this task. Don't stand up, don't go to the bathroom. Like that sort of nonsense. So um, take your time on it. I'll get the quiz questions graded for you. Sorry, thought they were auto grading, and then I just remembered wrong. So I'll get all the quizzes scored for you, so you know how you did in the quizzes. So you'll get 15 quiz style questions. Um, if I'm feeling ambitious, I change up the wording. So some questions that were true are now false. So just pay attention, right? Don't just assume because the first couple words are the same. And then three long answer questions. Well, one using 2D lists. I like chessboards. Might not do a chessboard thing. I'll probably do something else here. We did our projects, but um, given something, go traverse the list, probably using indexes, those sorts of things here, get some values back out. Right, so that's the one question. Another one on doing something with recursion and with an iterative approach without recursion. So basically recursion is acting as our loop in that case here, right? We're not anything crazy where you have to have like a stack that we're tracking to manage the recursion. So pretty basic for that one. And then one where I give you a class definition, this sort of like UML format here. Here's the attribute and here's the type. Here's the attribute and the type. Here's the function and the return type. Here's the function and the parameters that it should take here. That sort of thing. And then you'll write that, and then you will write unit tests here to ensure we have 100% code coverage. That's the focus of that one here. So each of those will be 5 points. So half of it is quiz style questions, half is the long answer questions. And it's made to be an easy check-in. All of this should definitely be doable based on our labs and our projects here. If this doesn't go well, we've got to have that conversation. So we can go over the solutions to these if you want to see them, um, or we can do whatever we want here. It's our time. Do you want to do solutions?
Is it? Can I look at it already?
Yeah, it should be posted in the course info section here. It should be the midterm review page I added.
Okay, I look 42, so
Always all the tabs. All the tabs.
here's my charger cord. At least I have tab groups now, so it's a little easier. Okay, internal. This is an assignment.
It should just be a page right in course info on the homepage. There's like the list for the syllabus and other things. And it'll just be a quiz in Canvas like the other quizzes.
Class one. I mean, that one's very simple.
Mhm.
The tests are going to be simple. Okay.
Yeah, making sure the total cost works and we can add toppings, right?
So the review thing, you just put the three examples of the long answers.
Yeah. So there'll be questions similar to this, the same topics, but just different prompt essentially.
Will it be like the quizzes where it's like a document and you want us to put our
Yeah, just copy paste the code in is probably easiest because they shouldn't be super long. So just copy paste from PyCharm or your IDE. Yeah, so for the 2D list one, the idea was just imagine every other square is white or black, like a chessboard is. So in the first row here, imagine the first and third are white squares, and then in the next row, the alternating ones are the white squares. So the 1 and 3 would get added, the 6 and 8 would get added, the 2 and 7 would get added, and then we subtract the black squares. So we'd find, okay, so the 2 and 4 are black squares, 5 and 7 are black squares, 5 and 9 are black squares. So we sum up the white squares, subtract the black squares.
So the square number.
The value in that square, in that index.
Okay.
Yep.
So we just have to write a function that takes a position of each square and then does whatever.
Yeah, loops through the 2D list looking at row index and column index, essentially. Yep.
Oh wait, that's So the shift thing is kind of ASCII-ish.
Yeah, so there's an ordinal function. I can show that one here to take a character and turn it into the ASCII value, the Unicode value, and then you can do arithmetic with it because it's a number now, and then you can convert back.
So we should like, what happens to Z? Does it become a non-letter character?
Yeah,
Okay. Do
yeah,
we
and
want that?
yeah, that's fine because you would be able to decode it by just reversing the process later.
I wasn't sure if you wanted it to like always stay as letters or not.
No, no, that's fine. Yeah, you could shift around by 26, whatever, mod 26 and subtract, but that's probably more work than we need to do to review. Here, I'll make a quick script that shows that. I feel like the iterative one for that's actually easier than the recursive one because it's just a quick loop. But
Yeah, I have way less, I guess, experience or uh, attempts with recursive functions than with lists and iterations.
yep.
Especially because like some functions will like return an iterator or something.
Mhm.
It's just easier to iterate. Oh, oh,
Yeah, so actually we run like enumerate is our shortcut for this. We get index a letter.
what is the iterate function?
So it gives you both index and the value itself rather than just looping over the range. It's just a shorthand. You can do it with
It's
just
like
the index.
thing.
Yeah, so index and value. Um, ordinal of the letter, and then ordinal of the letter plus the index back as a char. Uh, where's my parenthesis? There we go. And the quote, right? No?
One quick closer, you can do that.
Oh, it missed my. There we go. Wrong order. Okay, so now that should give me, right, E is a 69, and we added nothing to it, right, because it was index 0. R shifted by 1, little s. I shifted by 2 goes to K. C shifted by 3 goes to F, is all. So that sort of thing. Again, putting them together in a nice string output and returning stuff, but this is just, you can use this ordinal, and you can do arithmetic, and then you can turn it back to a character.
We write down these.
I'll post it in the GitHub too.
Okay. Like I didn't know that board
Yeah,
exists.
yeah, that's something we did last semester. So if you hadn't seen it before, it just converts to
Like in typecast.
um probably. I don't actually know what it does behind the scenes. Does it tell us? Returns the Unicode point of that character. And it's just a built-in function. I don't know if it's casting or not.
So I think I know I'm for sure this could be totally wrong, but I think in the last class I did, which was C++, I think if you just took a character and then asked for what it is as an integer and add one,
Yep.
the same thing would happen.
Yep. Yeah, in C++, the characters are stored as ints. You can do arithmetic directly. In Python, you can't. So you can't say, here's a character plus, because they only have strings. There's no concept of a character, really. And like, you can turn it into a char here, but you don't really make characters. That's all. So it gets a little funky. Right? This one takes an integer, so there's not really a good conversion back and forth. We need use the built-in functions. Yep. So that's all for that one. So we would just do it with a loop, right? Or using recursive. So usually what's helpful for the recursive functions is the private helper functions. So to make that as a recursive function, that's it. Like, I don't know, shift cursive just takes some string. We would make a helper function that's like defined as a private shift recursive. So this needs the sum string and the index. And
You do the parentheses.
yeah, I think we also would want what the end result or something. Final.
Oh, wouldn't they just return it?
It could return one letter at a time. So I think we could do it that way, right? So we just return. Well, that's not going to be recursive then. So we needed to call the next
My
one.
my mindset, I'm always like doing iterative thing, not things.
Some string at the index, the ordinal value, back to the char, plus the index. Um, yeah, so this is going to be a little, so if the index is less than the length of some string minus one, then we're going to do that plus the recursive bit here. Index plus one. Yeah, so like this gets kind of messy here, but that's okay. Otherwise, we just return this one here, right? So if we got to the end, if we're not at the end, recurse here, doing one letter at a time. If we are at the end, we can just return that last letter, and they should all get smushed on to the end here. So we just call return shift recursive of some string and zero. So like passing in the index here, we don't want the person calling my function to have to do it the first time. We want it easy to use. So we use the private helper function to be able to pass in those parameters, the other things we need to track that our loop would be doing essentially. We should be able to print shift recursive of Eric.
So
Let's see.
concatenate all the characters.
Oh goodness, yeah. Concatenate string, not into string. The char. Didn't we turn that to the char? String char ordinal of that plus the index. Oh, ordinal first plus the index. I got my parentheses in the wrong order here. Ordinal first, then plus the index back to a char. There we go. So ESKF. So
So the help concatenating all the.
yeah, and it's doing keep on recursing, or it was my base case. I can stop. I got to the last one here.
Okay.
Uh, that's all. All right, very cool. So I think we're good on review. I posted that to the GitHub. I forgot to record that part. I kept pausing so we didn't have big blanks. So Tuesday, then we have nothing planned. Take the time to do your own review for the midterm, and then Thursday the midterm will open. You can take it anytime before the 10th when class starts. So I don't plan on coming to watch you take the test unless you'd like me to. So I will probably see you back on March 10th here. I don't think we'll even have a lab on the 10th because we've got nothing else to practice in lab.
Class.
Yeah, so just
The next time
just the lecture.
here's just class on the 10th.
Yeah, lecture on the 10th. So I'll post that as an announcement so we don't forget here. Because I will forget otherwise too. So midterm plans, next meeting. No lecture, Tuesday, 24th, did I just say? Oh my goodness, I forgot what day it was. Yeah, the 24th. 24, midterm opens on 2/26, no class meeting. Time to work on the midterm. And then March 10th, no lab, just lecture at 2 p.m. All right. I think that's everything we talked about. Awesome. Take care. Good luck with the rest of your midterms.